back to P3. With 1 in 2 marriages in Canada ending in divorce, the biggest question most of us have is, how do you end a relationship without hurting your children, who are often innocent bystanders? Joining me in studio is Deb Zutter, a lawyer and divorce mediator and author of the new ebook, Divorce Mediation, What You Need to Know. Your book is really interesting because it's practical. We ended off the first segment by talking about things that you need to be telling your kids. What are some of the things that from your book that people say that's very, very helpful?
One item is looking at what I call the list of issues or agenda of all the questions that need to be answered to build your separation agreement. There's a lot of questions on a lot of different topics in your life, and when clients actually look at that, they get a sense of, wow, this is a task. It's a huge task, but by looking at this, I actually get a sense of, okay, we're making progress, and I can see where we're making progress.
One of the things you mentioned before, and I want to pick this up because there's kind of a myth that if you get divorced, your kids are going to be screwed up automatically. It's like, if then, that's what happens. Have you found with working with your clients that there are ways to end a relationship in a healthy way without your kids being affected at all?
That's what I believe. Of course your kids are going to, just like you, feel the loss of the marriage dream. They're okay though. Kids can actually get pretty excited about having and decorating mom's new house or dad's new house. They kind of get excited about that because they're making space in the new place. And they get more time with each parent, one-on-one, when that happens. That's one of the bonuses that can occur. What's important is that the children don't overhear or are not present when mom or dad are going through their angry or critical stages about the other parent and their hurt they're experiencing. Because
you're saying it's not divorce that really harms kids, it's that conflict, it's that anger that they experience. That's what makes them feel confused and scared and sad.
It is. And also, they want to be able to love mom and love dad going forward.
Don't make me choose sides. It's so sad when that's done.
Yeah.
The insecurity of one of the parents in order to kind of cobble together their little crew of their kids that says, well, they're on my side. We hate you, Dad, for doing this. It's so sad, isn't it?
Not only is it so sad, it can backfire. There's some longitudinal studies that show once a child, say that happens to at 8, gets into their 21, 23 years, they turn on the parent who did that to them.
They recognize what went on.
It can happen.
Wow. So you're not talking about what's happening right now. You're saying what is going to happen to your kids if you begin to use them as pawns and weapons in your own ending of your relationship.
In terms of how it's going to interact with your relationship with them. The other thing, though, is what you're not teaching your children is how to have a dispute and go through that, reach a resolution, and behave with respect and integrity. You're not teaching them that.
What an awesome character building opportunity that is.
It is.
I mean, you can really look at as, say, okay, this is the reality, our relationship is ending, we can't make it work anymore. Now we have an opportunity to teach our kids and model healthy conflict resolution. And what a great skill that they can learn at a young age and see that modeled. Let me ask you this, Deb. I'm hearing of very creative, interesting things. I was talking to one person a while back who said they're getting a divorce, but they're choosing to keep the kids in the same house, and they are the ones moving back and forth, but the children are staying in the primary residence. Are there new creative ways in order to keep kids more stable?
That's a good example of one of the creative ways, and there are many of them. And the interesting thing is, when you're in mediation or a process like that, you can create your own innovative solution to your family's needs, whatever they are. And it's really amazing, some of the ideas that come up.
Really, give me one that you're like, this is really quite interesting.
Let's think. You can have children traveling spending time with one parent and the other parent, and then together. So you're creating a schedule that isn't just children traveling to mom, children traveling to dad. It's children spending one-on-one time with each parent, plus children spending all the time with mom, so mom gets a complete break. So you're putting in all kinds of interesting things.
Right. Again, with the goal to say, how do we help kids metabolize this and what's healthy for them without bringing all the couple's issues to bear, so the kid has to bear those issues. That's not fair to them, is it?
It's not fair at all.
Now, what is when you go through something like this with mediation? Is there longitudinal studies that people that go through mediation have a better success rate at their marriage later on? Do we know that kind of stuff?
I'm not aware of a longitudinal study like that. I've done some original research by myself, and in Canada and in Australia, and what I found out is that when people go through the mission process, particularly when they've prepared for it in advance, what they find out is they're more satisfied with the process, and they're also reaching solution at a higher rate. So,
Right.
those are great outcomes.
Yeah, very good. I mean, and if someone can do that again, feel like that both parties are being satisfied, no one's being ripped off or burned in the process. That's what mediation is about, and the children are being helped. That is a win-win as much as you can in a situation where there's obviously going to be grief and loss about a relationship. Thanks for coming on, Deb. It was really great to meet you. Hope people check out your ebook. There's lots of information in there. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Randall.
Coming up next,